or call Dragon for communications and see if we can potentially get communications with them a little bit earlier. Following this, we'll have two events in rapid succession. We'll have the drogue parachutes deploy at 2:53 p.m. Pacific, followed by the mains just 1 minute later at 2:54 p.m. Pacific time, ahead of a splashdown at 2:57 p.m.
The crowd here very excited as Dragon Freedom continues to make its way back to planet Earth.
Next up, we'll stand by for the main deployment of the parachutes. The mains are quite a bit larger. You'll be able to notice the difference on your screen once they deploy, and they continue to ensure that the Dragon spacecraft slows down even further. As we mentioned, Freedom will be traveling 16 miles to Tallahassee, Florida, here at 2:57 p.m. Pacific time this afternoon. And there we go.
We have visual on 4 healthy mains.
That view was from inside.
Freedom copy.
That view was from inside one of the buckets where the parachutes are located. So we see a great view there of the reefing on those parachutes. And as those main parachutes begin to inflate fully, 4 beautiful, healthy mains. Now awaiting visuals of splashdown.
Freedom, 1,000.
We'll start to hear Commander Nick Hague.
Copy, 1,000.
As we heard right there, Commander Nick Hague will be calling out the altitude of the Dragon capsule from here on out. Landing in water is simpler and provides more margin against unlikely parachute issues. You can see those parachutes continuing to slow the Dragon capsule down. That was a live view from our recovery vessel, Megan, which is stationed a couple miles away from the splashdown site. We can see the crew there using their restraints as resting places for their arms. They were just in space moments ago, so their arms were able to float freely.
400 meters.
ఎక్స్క్లూజివ్గా చూస్తున్నాం. ఏదైతే పారాచూట్ సెకండ్ స్టేజ్లో డిప్లాయ్ అయిన తర్వాత సక్సెస్ఫుల్గా ఈ దూరాన్ని ఛేదించుకుంటూ ఫ్లోరిడా జలాలను తాకిన పరిస్థితి కనిపిస్తోంది. ఈ నేపథ్యంలో మరికొద్ది ఫిన్స్ కూడా దర్శనమివ్వడం ఇప్పుడు మనం ఆల్రెడీ చూస్తున్నాం. దీనికి సంబంధించి నాసా అఫీషియల్స్ కూడా ఇది చాలా రేర్ మూమెంట్, చాలా అద్భుతమైన మూమెంట్ అండ్ చాలా సినిక్గా ఉంది ఈ విజువల్ అనేది వాళ్ళు చెప్తున్న పరిస్థితి కనిపిస్తుంది.
I'm also seeing some people in chat asking when the crew will disembark Dragon. We expect the Dragon, you might be able to just tell there's a couple of rails. So Dragon right now is in its nest. It's just been lifted onto the ship. Very shortly, Dragon will kind of be pulled towards the pulled forward on the ship. It will then kind of connect with that little platform there, which is currently roped off in the foreground of the frame. After that, a few minutes later, we should expect the hatch to be opened. Crews will poke their head inside Dragon, give a thumbs up, make sure everyone's okay, and if so, they will then escort the 4 crew members out of Dragon and onto the deck.
They are being slid out across that board like we were talking about. Give them a moment to let their legs kind of adjust, and then they will help them up onto the stretcher.
And here we
go.
That
Nick?
That is Nick Hague.
Yeah, that appears to be Commander Nick Hague, if I'm seeing that right.
A wave from the commander, a thumbs up, another wave